Hello, tubers and tubettes. This is David, and I live up in Northern California. And this video will be for my channel, California Pool Designer. Almost forgot there. Um, well, it happened what I thought was going to happen. I've gotten so busy with pool sales and pool estimates and just other things I have going on in my life that I just haven't been able to record as many. Well, I have recorded a bunch of videos, but I haven't uploaded them yet. So I have a bunch of videos. I have a really good collection of videos on the building of a pool, and I haven't done that in a long time where you can see it from the beginning. Right now they're up to decks, but I'm going to try to get out there when they plaster. I'm going to have to try to make an effort to get out there. But they've been digging my pools like crazy, and now all of a sudden I went from being super poor to having extra money, and I'm liking it. It's nice. I haven't really had extra money for like a year because last year was really bad. The year before was, so 2024 was really bad for our industry and for me personally. So, just to give you an idea, a lot of running around last year, 2024, a lot of estimates, a lot of possible sales, but even the price is really high. But I sold 13 pools, which my goal is always 30. So that was way below my goal. And there were actually times where there were just no leads. And a lot of it had to do with the economy and the election and everything else. And here I am. Last pool I sold was on April 28th, and that was my 10th pool. So here's 10 pools by April and 12 all year long last year. So it kind of shows you the difference in it. And the pools that I've been selling this year, they're actually pretty high end pools. I've sold a bunch of them over over $100,000. So this week I have three go backs, or I will have three go backs because today I have two new pools. One is in a local town called Elk Grove, and I'm not really sure what the situation. I talked to the guy over the phone. He sounded pretty nice. Yeah, got to call him in a few minutes. And then the second pool is up in Lincoln, and that pool had a estimate done by us, but down in a different town, so it would have been a different person in Manteca. Now they're moving to Lincoln. They did go with another pool company, and they did get an estimate from them. But the interesting question is, why didn't they go with them? So there could have been issues, that happened, and I'll have to try to get that out of her during the presentation. So those would be two that I'll return back to this week, in terms of getting a second appointment. And then I have two other ones that I did last week, which the go backs will be this week. So there's four pools that I'm going back on to give them prices. And I typically sell, well, I used to sell one and three. I think right now I'm probably selling one and two because we don't have that many leads, but I'm spending more time with people. And the ones that are actually closing, you know, they typically have already checked to make sure they have financing. But I've had a lot of them actually that were all cash deals, and we love the cash deals because there's no hold on them. As soon as we can get the permit, we're ready to dig. Now, saying as soon as we get the permit, that's still 4 to 6 weeks. It's just so ridiculous. But this is working with a governmental agency, and the reason I think it's ridiculous is that in some places like Sacramento County, it has taken us 6 to 8 weeks to get a permit. Yet in another county, it's called Placer County, we get the permit over the counter. It means we go in there, and they have everybody there to check the appropriate areas. And I would, even though Sacramento County is bigger, Placer County takes up a lot of the Lincoln, Rockland, and Roseville that's unincorporated. So why is that? Why does it take that long? 8 weeks. Well, it's because it's sitting on somebody's desk, and it can be super super frustrating. So right now I have money on my ledger. I have money in my pocket. I have money in my account. So I'm going to be using some of it to be able to move some of my projects forward. Um, this one that I'm going to up in Elk Grove, I don't really know too much about it. It was an older guy. He sounded very happy to have me call. So that kind of gives me a feeling that maybe some of the other salesmen are slow to respond. But I'm fast to respond. I'll call as soon as I get the lead. And there's always a saying, when you're doing estimates, should I be the first person? Should I be the last person? Should I be the middle person? Because the first person might be able to close them out, but then sometimes people are in love with the people that they just met. So as soon as you leave, somebody else comes in and now they love them. It's kind of like boyfriend and girlfriend kind of things. Or should you be the last person? And the last person is that, you know, Hail Mary trying to get the thing to lock in. So there's always a thing of try to be the last person in or try to be the first person. But Zig Ziglar said, be first, be last, be often, in terms of closing. So I'm always trying to get out to people as soon as possible. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. I mean, you got to do things, your presentation very consistently in sales. You have to do the same thing over and over and over. And I know a lot of people are like, well, I'm not made that way. I like to just say whatever I want to say, and I like to just go my own way. You can do that if you want. Maybe that is your style. But the only way you can tell whether you're effective or not is to do the same thing all the time. And that's being the same place in the sales cycle. If you just come in willy nilly, I mean, we're not there to make friends. We're there to sell pools. So you need to come at the very beginning and establish rapport. That's what you're doing there, not trying to close them. Although there are some salesmen that like to close on the first appointment. I find that when I've done that in the past, that the people don't even know what they're getting. They don't even know they have equipment on the pool. So I do a first appointment to build rapport, and so we do a lot of me toos. Like, oh, I have kids too. Oh yeah, I live in a house too. Oh yeah, you're trying to have them do a lot of me toos, and the more they can relate with you, the better you have a chance of selling. On the second appointment, when I come back, it's kind of like, oh, you built all this rapport. They remember you, but every day you're not there, it kind of goes down. Somebody else can come in. And so on that second appointment, what you're trying to do to me is I'm building quality, 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 quality. And sometimes they'll be like, well, can you just tell us the price? I go, I'm almost to the price. That's the great thing about it. I think you're going to really like it. Promise them that. But you better have a good price if you're going to say that. So once you've told them the price, they're really not listening to you anymore. And so they've already made up their mind, depending on how high or how low it is. And on that second appointment, I have to bring it in, with getting them close to where we're at. So, typical pools are between 60 and 70,000. Oh my God, I thought they were like 35,000. Nah, you can't get a pool for 35,000 in California. I mean, maybe you can get a half a pool. I try to joke like that. So I've got to bring them up, in terms of their expectations before I hit them with the price. And then when I do hit them with the price, I always put a discount in there. And then the discount has a time limit on it. So that's to create a sense of urgency. So they say whenever someone's in sales, they have no time, no need, no want, and no urgency. And those are the four deadly sins, because you got to get them off. You got to find out what's holding them back, and you got to get them off that. You could say, well, how can I get them off the price? If the price is too high, well, then you talk about payments, because that might mean that they're going to make payments. Well, the interest rate is really high, but there's no prepayment penalty. So when the interest rates go down, maybe they refinance the whole house. They can just include the pool in it. So we use it as kind of like a bridging loan. So there are things that you can say. They might not always accept it, but at least you have a way to go. And then sometimes it does work, just like Zig Ziglar says. Does it always work? Well, no, it doesn't always work. But does it work every once in a while? Yes, it does. Every once in a while, it will work. And so, on my way to the two appointments today, first one in Elk Grove, second one in Lincoln. Now, I'm always a big person too about calling 30 minutes ahead of time and confirming. A lot of people, and when I was in life insurance sales, you didn't want to call them because they would cancel on you, you know? And so one of the tricks that they would have is they would have where a person at your office would call and say, "Hey, is Dave there?" "Oh no, he's not here yet. But you know, we wanted to talk to you about the appointment." See, they want to cancel. So then you say, "Hey, listen, we have kind of an important call that just came in. So as soon as Dave is there, can you have him call the office?" Yeah, okay, make sure, write this down. And so they're so busy making sure they get that message to you and writing it down and everything that as soon as you get there, they're like, "Oh, um, your office called and you need to call in right away. There's some kind of thing going on, an emergency or something." "Oh, okay, thank you very much." Boom, you're in the house. That's, I hate to say it, but that's how they do it. And so you know, uh, you gotta confirm those appointments. And if someone says, "Oh no," in pools it's different because it's hot and they want it. Like today is 90 degrees. This is great weather for us. But you don't want to be, you want to try to meet with these people on the second appointment as soon as possible and kind of promise them that you are going to give them the best price that you can. Which for me, I don't mess around. I just give them the best price that I can. If I lose a pool for $500, then I couldn't have done anything else because I gave them all the things I possibly could. So anyway, that's pool sales in 2025, and I'll probably give you another little video as I get out of this sale, let you know how it went. Thank you much and have a great day.